Welcome to the third lesson for beginner music students. If you remember last time in lesson 2, we went over high versus low notes, and we said that we were going to talk a little bit about intervals in the next lesson. But before we talk about intervals, I want to give you a little mini lesson on the piano and how the piano is organized. If you look at your piano and you see all of these white keys, to me it reminds me of a ruler. And there is a middle part of the ruler. There's a middle part to the piano too. If this was like a ruler, these white keys with these little black keys being these little tick marks here on the ruler, the middle of the ruler would be here at 6 inches, right? And the middle of the piano is right around where this cow is. This may not be the exact middle key, but this range here is the middle C area. And so we call this middle C because it's in the middle of the keyboard, and that's a very important key to remember. The next important thing to notice about your piano is we have the white keys and we have black keys. Just like here in these diagrams, there's the white keys with the black keys. And if you notice, the black keys are in groups. We have groups of 2 and groups of 3. How many black keys are on this grouping here where the middle C cow is? We have 1, 2. 2 black keys. So the middle C cow is in this grouping of 2 black keys. And as it turns out, that's how you know what C is. You find the grouping of 2 black keys and it'll be the key to the left of the 2 black keys. So it's this one here with the X. Okay, so now that we've gone over where C's are, I want you to find all the C's on your piano or keyboard at home. So we're going to start with the lowest C. Do you remember where the low notes are found on the keyboard? Are they over here or up here? So the lower notes are this way, going left on the keyboard. So you're going to be looking for your lowest set of 2 black keys. Do you see this group of 2 black keys? So it's the note, the X on it is this note right to the left of that set of 2 black keys. And we're going to go higher now. So we're going to go from here, we're going to go over the 2 black keys, pass over the group of 3 black keys to the next set of 2 black keys, play that C. And then we're going to go over that, pass over the 3 black keys to the next set of 2 black keys. That's bass C. And we're going to keep going, and we'll end up at where the middle C cow is. Pass over the 2 black keys and the next group of 3 black keys. Can you see that the black keys are alternating? The two black keys alternating with the 3 black keys. So we have 2, then 3. Now we're back at 2. Here's the next C. And then we have another group of 3 black keys and the next C. That's 2 black keys. We'll pass over the 3 black keys to the next C. And my keyboard has a final C up here. So I want you to find your middle C. And if you have some marker, or you can just remember where it is, that's where we're going to be doing most of our lesson today, is around middle C. So if you remember how many letters are in the musical alphabet, we had A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. When we talk about intervals, that's a big word. But all it means is, so you have a starting note here. Let's have the cow here. Okay, so let's say that the cow is on middle C, and that's step 1. Let's say that he's going to go up one step. So he goes up one step, goes from 1 to 2, the first step to the second step. That interval from C to D, because now he's on the D spot, would be called a second, because he's on the second step. Now, what if he jumped from his C spot here all the way up to the third step? So he went 1, 2, 3. He's on the third step now, right? So that interval from C to E would be a third. And we can do this all the way up. So here he is on the C. Say he goes up to the fourth step. 1, 2, 3, 4, up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fourth. So you can see what's happening here, I'm sure. It's the number of steps from the starting note to where he ends up is the interval. And that basically just means the space between the starting note and where he ends up. So we usually talk about intervals going all the way up to the seventh. Do you know why? Because when we go to get to 8, they're both C's, and that's called something different. It is the eighth step, but it's called, at that point, it's called an octave. And then we start over again after that. So we typically only talk about 7 main intervals. So it would be from C to D. Okay, that's a second. From C to E is a third. From C to F is a fourth. From C to G is a fifth. From C to A is a sixth. And from C to B is a seventh. And then from C to C is an octave. And you don't have to start on C. You could start anywhere. So from you see that? So the intervals just mean the distance between 2 different notes. And so the smaller interval is a smaller number. So the interval from C to D is a second. It's a small distance between the 2 notes. And if we go from C to A, that would be the 6th, and that's a big distance, right? And so that's a little mini lesson on intervals. With your piano or keyboard at home, I would like you to play around a little bit. First, I want you to find your C, which is going to be, find the two black keys that's in the middle of the keyboard, and it's the note to the left should sound like this one. And play around with some of those intervals. So we have, it's a second, then you jump over. So the second here is also called a step, because you're stepping from one step to the other. This is called a skip when the third because you skip over that first step. Thanks for joining Lesson 3. And in Lesson 4, we'll go over some things about tempo, and so we'll learn some more things that will get you on your way to playing the piano. See you then.